VTA, NAC, amygdala, and PFC, and the dopamine transmitter pathway. The red light is the VTA, or ventral tegmental area, and when something rewarding or unpleasant happens, it will send out a signal to the NAC, then amygdala, and then the PFC. The NAC will take the reaction and mediate it. That's basically all it does. The amygdala learns from this reaction and how you got there, so you can remember how you get a reward or how you got to this unpleasant reaction. The teal clay is your prefrontal cortex, which is where you think and have your conscious thoughts. And basically when you get this signal from the VTA, your PFC will basically be you thinking what you're going to do next. Dopamine has an effect on your behavior. If you have too much dopamine, it will cause a loss in interest. In a study with rats, they, as in scientists, took these rats' brains and overstimulated their dopamine receptors. The rats then, in this immense feeling of happiness and contentment, went into their cages, curled up in a corner, and with a water source right next to them, died of thirst because they thought that they didn't need anything because they were so happy. If you have too little dopamine, then it could affect your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. Another study with monkeys, scientists removed the ACC, which is where your dopamine and all this stuff is located. And in a study with monkeys, they took out the ACC. In real life, nobody is ever born without an ACC. They'll be born with less dopamine receptors. But without the ACC, they gave those monkeys a joystick, and then they gave monkeys that did still have intact brains a joystick. And if you twisted it, you could get a treat. If you lifted it, you could also get a treat. Now, there was only one way that they could get it. So maybe it was if you lift it, you get a treat. And they kept lifting it, and they kept getting these little pellets of food. Now, then the scientists decided to switch it up on them, and they said, okay, now if you turn it, you get some food. So the monkeys with intact brains figured this out and just started turning it, and they kept getting the food. The monkeys without their ACC didn't realize this, and instead of turning it, after they did figure out that if you turn it, you get some food, they just went right back to lifting it, even though they weren't getting anything, and they got confused. Going back to the model, it is simply a styrofoam head that was cut in half, and just clay on another piece of styrofoam that I put tin foil on so that the clay would stick. Thank you for watching. That's really dope.